Day 21. It is arm day. Arms, the muscle groups that I want to grow the most. Both biceps and triceps I want to bring up, especially in the front double bicep pose. So we're going to hit them hard today, just like we would hit legs or back, even though they're smaller muscle groups. If you feel like your arms are lacking, that you want to hit them almost as often or even as often, even more often than you hit some of your stronger muscle groups, even though they may be bigger muscles like legs or back, for example. It all depends on your build and what you're trying to improve. So I'm really trying to bring on my triceps and biceps. So the first exercise is the dual rope cable push down. I thought this was a stupid exercise for the longest time. I thought, why would someone go and take 2 ropes when there's only like 3 in the entire gym and use it for something that you can do with just 1 rope? And then I realized that the squeeze at the bottom of this movement is alone enough to get you sore the next day and enough to like obliterate, and I mean obliterate, your triceps completely. You're going to notice I'm very strict here with the form. The squeeze at the bottom is like unbelievable. So I try and emphasize that as much as possible on every single rep. And when I come up, I'm trying to get the stretch on the triceps. So if you get the maximal stretch and the maximal squeeze and you're going to failure, that is a recipe for huge bulbous arms. And that's what I've been doing to grow my triceps and biceps, which I'm still trying to bring up. But if you've seen pictures of me in the past, you know that this has been a crazy transformation so far, and it's only going to grow more. I do a few drop sets as well. Honestly, I throw in drop sets randomly. I'm not one of those guys who walks in the gym with a logbook and has everything planned out, because not only for training, but in life in general, you write a schedule, but things just pop up out of nowhere and you're going to have to make adjustments. And that's what you kind of have to do with training. That's something that training teaches you other than how to get big. So if a set doesn't feel particularly good, or I feel like I have more in me even though I reached failure, I drop the weight and just swing the weight around to get more blood into the muscle. And trust me, it feels absolutely ridiculous. When you do drop sets, you don't want to be so particular about your form and how strict you are in the movement. The point of a drop set is to drive more blood into the muscle. And because your muscle is already warm from the previous set that you did just before the drop, you're literally not going to get injured. So you shouldn't worry about that. And so form kind of goes out the window. We're just trying to pump more blood into the muscle. And because it's already so fatigued, it's really easy to do that even if your form is sloppy. So 4 sets here, or I think actually 5 sets here of the dual cable push down. If you used to think like me as a stupid exercise, think again, because this is insane. You can see after every set, I'm like in pain because of how ridiculous the pump is. For a couple of sets, I also superset it here with like this cable overhead extension kind of thing. I sold all the ropes in the gym just for triceps, which is, I don't know what you'd call that, but it's kind of a goon move, if you will. But I got a ridiculous stretch. And here, recently, I've been trying to separate my long head and my lateral head. So I've actually noticed that on these tricep pushdowns, I feel my lateral head significantly more than my long head. But when I do these overhead extensions, I feel my long head significantly more. Like, it's not like the entire pump is in the whole tricep. I can literally feel that one part is more pumped than the other. I feel like something that comes with just being more advanced in your training. So if you can't feel it now, it's not a big deal. It's just something I noticed recently. But yeah, 5 sets there, randomly threw in superset, randomly threw in drop sets. Again, we're just trying to blow up these triceps. So next I grab like this straight bar variation thing and I do overhead extensions. It felt a little awkward on the shoulders, but I still got a really good pump from it. So that's all that matters at the end of the day. I could have gone with the rope again because it allows for more motion of like the elbows and like flaring your elbows out a little more. I feel like when you do overhead extensions, the best way to go is to flare out your elbows, because if you kind of keep them like locked in, you're getting more lateral head. Like if you just think of it with the angles, if you flare your elbows out more, you're stretching out the long head the most. And that's a really important muscle for when you do the front double bicep pose. You want that huge sweep of the arm. It just makes your arms look gigantic. I switched the angle up on the second set because I was kind of feeling messed up in the shoulders, and this one felt a lot better than the first one. The weight is a lot lower than I would usually do, but you can see the control is significantly better. I'm emphasizing the stretch and the squeeze at the top and the bottom respectively, and that's just the way it is. I mean, I've kind of changed up my arm training. I've noticed that my arms feel a lot bigger for some reason. They might be getting bigger, but obviously it's going to take a lot more time than that. I'm really trying to get to 17-inch arms and eventually 18-inch arms. Man, I'm so sick and tired of having tiny arms. It's annoying, you know? Again, random drop sets, I don't really count those. I don't schedule them. They still count as one set, even though I technically did 2 in 1. That doesn't really matter. Don't be so particular with your training, especially when you're like a beginner, intermediate trainee. Like, you don't need to be so particular. log every set, make sure every rep is perfect. Like at the end of the day, train hard and pick like normal exercise and you're going to make gains. So here I'm doing a French press / overhead easy bar extension, whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called. I just know it works the long head of the tricep. So I'm doing it. I also superset this with dips. So you'll notice that pretty much everything I did for triceps was a superset. And that's because supersets drive a ridiculous amount of blood into the muscles, so I decided to go with that. And here you can see I'm literally reaching failure on pretty much every single exercise. You can also see my triceps look pumped to oblivion. Obviously, they're not the biggest triceps you've ever seen, they're not even close, but for me, that is pretty impressive considering how young I am and how long I've been training. So 3 sets for this superset kind of thing. It went really well. Pump for the triceps was absolutely incredible. Like, every arm workout lately, since I've been doing like the slow and controlled squeeze and stretch kind of training, has just been like astronomical. So if you feel like going heavy has gotten kind of old and your pumps have like worn off, try this style of training and I think you'll benefit at least in some part. Okay, so after some random posing, we have biceps. Biceps are also a muscle I want to improve. I said that already in the video. Why did I say it again? Okay, so biceps, pretty simple stuff. How to get big biceps? Curl. That's it. Just do a variety of curls. You can try and do like curls in front of your body, to the side of your body, and behind your body to target the different heads of the bicep, to hit the bicep in different ways. That's what I try to do in this workout, and it is in fact what I end up doing, I think. So I do the easy bar curls here, just a standard good bicep curl variation. When I do a close grip like this, I can't really let the bar fully go down because like my lats get in the way. Listen, I know I'm not that big, but they kind of get in the way and it's just not comfortable to fully extend them. So I don't. And I kind of use my lats as like a wall behind me to allow me to, curl without really swinging. It still kind of looks like I'm swinging, but I assure you that the pump here was ridiculous and I felt it entirely in my biceps, which is what you want, obviously. 4 sets here of the easy bar curls. Again, emphasizing that squeeze at the top is everything, especially when it comes to arm training. Again, with the triceps and here with the biceps. That squeeze, like I honestly felt with biceps, like I torn my bicep. That's how crazy the pump was. Now, I assure you I did not tear my bicep because I can comfortably move it without pain and everything. It's just the amount of lactic acid in that muscle was so ridiculous that if my biceps don't end up being 18 inches by the end of this year, I might as well start going on track. Again, random supersets here. I pull out the 25-pound dumbbells and just curl them till I feel numb. And you can see that after this set, I'm literally holding my arms out because it feels... Quick front double bicep actually looking pretty good, which means we're making gains because usually my front double bicep looks like trash. I think I did 4 sets here, but we move on to the classic unilateral cable curl with the 2 different handles. I love this exercise because 1, it's unilateral, fixes muscle imbalances. 2, you get a ridiculous stretch. 3, you get a ridiculous squeeze. And 4, there's no 4. I just love the exercise. So you get a crazy squeeze, you get a crazy stretch, as I said already. And you can kind of just go until you fail and then go a little more and then drop the weight, do a drop set and go even more. And that's kind of what I did here. So there's no limit to what you can do in terms of intensity with some of these isolation exercises. You can quite literally go until you feel like your biceps are about to rip off, which is kind of what I did here. So it is also a lot of fun just to train that hard. If you don't enjoy training hard, then you'll never be as big as you want to be because you got to enjoy the process, obviously, right? Cable curls done. We finish up here with incline curls. There's a lot of mixed opinions about incline curls. Some people say they're useless. Some people say they're immaculate. I just do them because they're a bicep exercise. They're a curl and I feel it really well in my biceps. Pretty simple. I don't know why you got to overcomplicate it. Just do the curls if they feel good. 3 sets of the incline curls and that wraps up the arm day. Simple as that. 11 sets for triceps, 11 sets for biceps. It's a pretty random number, but it worked for me. I felt fully pumped at the end of the arm day, so I think it was a success. In fact, I know it was a success. As I will say with pretty much all my workouts, there was nothing here that I did that was complicated. It was just these normal exercises that every single gym bro tends to do all the time. The only difference is my eating is down, my sleeping for the most part, though lately not really, is down, and my training is also down. I train ridiculously hard. I get a crazy pump almost every workout, and that's how you grow. It is about genetics, it is about supplements and gear and whatever you're taking, but at the end of the day, if you train hard, you will build a physique for yourself. It's that simple. So train hard, eat properly, eat a lot, sleep a lot, and you'll get huge. Simple as that. Hope you enjoyed the video and enjoy tomorrow's video as well, which will probably be, no, it 100% will be back